my god. No!
Andras Devs. This was no accident.
Hello and welcome back to our playthrough of Avowed. Seems like the village has been lit on fire while we've been in the cave on this quest.
What happened? Who did this? It's all gone. The city. My home.
Let's go investigate and lend a hand.
Right. We should be a moving target. In case anyone comes for us next. We have to check on the others. At least let me find Quilichi. Any survivors would have evacuated to the farms north of town. Come. There's not a moment to waste.
A city up in flames? You tell me who your coin is on.
I can't believe this. What you smell is the workshop going up in flames. Books, chemicals, the machines. Many of those inventions were originals from the Valian republics. One of a kind, irreplaceable. I don't know why I'm dwelling on that. We lost more than our world.
Your work was your home. You're allowed to mourn it.
They blind us.
Watch your left.
So it seems like fast travel has been taken away from us until we go investigate this fire. We have to run there on foot. Luckily it's not too far.
Animancers know how to plan for me.
Oh, that hurt.
If anything happened to Quilichi, I don't know what I'd do.
Let's get to the farms. There's trouble.
Again and again they strike.
Look, they made it out. Oh, thank the gods. Thank the gods. I needed that. I needed to see them so badly.
Coming from your right.
Alright, I think that was all of them. We're almost back at town. Time to see who lit this fire. I think I have a pretty good idea, though.
These people are looking for leadership, a sense of direction.
What a fine
find
nest the
Quilichi.
Adirians have made for us.
We've been at war against nature so long, we didn't think the final blow would be struck by outsiders. Envoy! Oh, thank goodness. For a moment there, I thought we'd lost you in the attack.
What happened here?
As if you don't already know.
Inasi, calm yourself.
Why should I be calm? His people burned my city.
The Steel Garrote are hardly his people.
They offered us no negotiation, no peaceful terms. Just flames, and laughter as we ran.
The ambassador would have never allowed this.
Don't be naive. Anyone who serves under an Adiran banner is complicit. Your Inquisitor is determined to burn out anyone who doesn't conform to Adiran ways.
We agree on one thing. The Stilgarot have declared war on the Living Lands.
Inquisitor Ludwin did threaten to break the frontier.
That sort of thinking is precisely why my father fled the Valian republics.
What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradis. This attack was meant to weaken us. No doubt they will circle back to finish what they started. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it.
I may have spoken in haste before.
Pardon?
The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch, and I wasn't strong enough to bear it.
What changed your mind?
You must understand. My mother had the Dream Scourge. I hoped against reason that she might recover, but her mind grew as blighted as our lands. To face reality would mean upending my city, throwing order into chaos, and admitting she was truly gone. I'm so sorry, Giada.
Don't waste your apologies on me. This changes nothing between us.
I don't expect your forgiveness, but I will do everything in my power to make this right. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
Go ahead, Giada. Tell them everything.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness. When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell him it's madness.
Envoy, is it true?
Giada, can you help elaborate?
There's no other explanation for the spiritual shift in the Living Lands. Something that slept has awoken. I believe there is still more to learn, but a disturbance on this scale could explain the changes to our ecosystem.
First the Dream Scourge, then the Stilgarot, and now... what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
There is no reason to stay, unless you count picking through the ashes. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradis.
Paradis is under Adiran control.
Exactly. As long as we are Animancers, the Adirans will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous.
Giada, what do you recommend?
Thirdborn has its own problems. Paradise is more secure, but it would mean living under a Diran rule. I don't like our options, but that shouldn't stop us from committing to one.
Take your people to Paradise, blend in and watch the Adirans.
It's unpredictable, and that's why it has a chance to succeed.
When did you grow a spine, Ignacy?
Who says I have? Take care in your travels, Giada. May we meet again.
My days of subterfuge are behind me. Be the leader these people need, and they will follow you anywhere.
And what of you, envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Do either of you know of a place called the Garden?
Oh, I do.
Yardsley? Don't tell me you are getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Ah, right. Layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Naku Kubel, which is in Shatterscarp, so we've got to get there now. Before Fior went up in flames, that Garrote monster took my research. Your kin are on their way to the garden now. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerity. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
What a whirlwind. God, I love that tiny woman.
Sounds like we have a brief detour in Shatterscarp ahead of us.
I would be surprised if your journey were that uncomplicated, but... stranger things have happened.
For what it's worth, I vouch for Yardsley. She's a good friend and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers.
Then we should approach carefully. They'll be on their guard after this.
I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, envoy.
Exploring the Living Lands with the Flames. What more could I ask for?
Back to Shatterscarp then.
Alright, we've gained a level, and we're on our way to Shatterscarp. I'm assuming this will be the third major area in this game, after Paradise and Emerald Stair.
A moment of your time, if you please. From one Adiran to another. Now that isn't the warm welcome I expected. The Inquisitor told me you were obedient to the letter. So, did you enjoy our little bonfire? Inquisitor Ludwig was pleased with our efficiency.
You irredeemable fucking swine!
Keep her on a tight leash. No need for this to get out of hand.
Are you responsible for burning Fior Messeverno?
One might argue they brought it on themselves. Believe it or not, the Steel Garrote owe you an apology on behalf of Inquisitor Ludwig.
Bring us her severed head and I'll consider it.
That temperament of yours is exactly the problem she's trying to solve. Our attack came together in haste. You should have been informed, and I regret the oversight.
Why did you burn the city?
One way or another, Fuel Messeverno was always going to burn. Weak government, chaotic farming, dangerous research. They never had a chance.
What right do you have to cast judgment on us?
As the future caretakers of the Living Lands, we do only what is necessary. Fuel Messeverno's reliance on animancy and stubborn individualism has done nothing but drag the Living Lands down with them.
I came to help the Living Lands, not condemn it.
Help takes many forms. Look, I'm only telling you this because you deserve to know Ludwig's intentions for the living lands. If Heelgard cannot maintain a grip on the living lands, then the Steel Garrote will simply take it from him. You see, the Steel Garrote answer to the Burned Queen, not your floundering empire. And we will break from Adir if that's what it takes.
The Emperor will hear of what you've done.
And while he frets in the throne room, his puppy dog soldiers will chase their own tails. Inquisitor Ludwig sees something in you, Envoy. She wants to cultivate your potential, as she did mine. You don't want to get between her and the fate of the living land, so let this serve as a warning. Our grasp on this island is going to tighten, even if it costs us allies along the way. Acceptable losses. What you do with this information is up to you. Either way, Emerald Stair is just the beginning.
Are we done here?
Not quite. Before I let you go, a little bird sang in my ear that you're going to Shatterscarp.
You don't have to answer that.
Of course, that would have been impossible with these meddlesome rangers in the way.
You didn't.
I took the liberty of removing them. It's a shame, really. Honorable folk to the last.
The Steel Garrote have gone too far again.
Ludwig told me to open a path for you by any means necessary, and that's exactly what I did. When you arrive in Shatterscarp, give this letter to Temerty. Compliments of the Inquisitor. No need to keep you any longer. Let's hope our next meeting is under more favorable circumstances.
You're not walking away from this.
You know, there's a depraved part of me that was hoping you'd make this interesting.
Let's make this a battle to remember.
Sorry it'll be over so quickly then.
Stop right there.
Is that all you got?
Let's finish.
Oh, she's being healed by something. We need to take out these healers.
Right flank!
Well, that wasn't too bad. I expected more of a challenge from them. There's some good loot. I'm glad we fought them. Now onward to Shatterscarp.
You came to Emerald Stair looking for answers. And now we're leaving with more questions. How do we fight the Dream Scourge? What can we do about Sapadal? And where is the garden? Not to mention, why the Steel Garrote burned my fucking home to the ground.
I'm so sorry.
You're not the one who should be apologizing. I will not forget Fiorme Siverna. Everything it was, and everything it could have been. And I will never forgive. Never.
So on top of the Dream Scourge rotting your fields and turning kith and beast alike into monsters, now we've got a Death Guard Inquisitor and the Steel Garrote dogging our steps. Do you think Ludwig will try something similar in Thirdborn?
Not necessarily. She's lost the element of surprise.
I hope you're right. Thirdborners are tough by nature. More than a few have seen their share of battle. Lots of Rawatayans, scramble routes with no prospects back home, washouts from military or mercenary life, sailors in search of steady ground. Add to that a motley assortment of pirates, free spirits, and people who like living under the loosest grasp of the law, and you've got Thirdborn. But rumor has it something's amiss in Shatterscarp. Strange dreams, disappearances, people wandering into the desert and never returning, or coming back. Changed.
Changed?
Their bodies and minds twisted, corrupted.
At least that tells us we're on the right track. This dream scourge is one of the weirdest things I've ever tried to hunt.
We can't let the hunter become the hunted.
Easier said than done. Especially when we're not entirely sure what we're looking for.
Everything we learned in Naku Tadek points us to the garden. Thirdborn is just a stepping stone. But we don't know anything about the garden. It could be a myth or a metaphor. Whatever the garden is or isn't, it's our only lead. We find the garden, we find the dream scourge.
Yatsley believes the answer lies in another godless ruin.
Yatsley is a master of the unknown and the unknowable. No mystery eludes her for long. If there is a path to the garden, Yatsley can lead us to it. I'd follow her anywhere.
Or maybe that god poking around your soul could give us directions.
Ask for directions. Why didn't I think of that? Kai, that's brilliant. Whatever Sapadal tells us will be filtered through a lot of metaphysical noise, but it couldn't hurt to try.
Let's do it.
This is so exciting. Sapadal? It's Giada. Giada Castel. If you're listening, could you please tell us more about the garden?
Castel. Castel. Why does this name sing to us? A voice through murky water. The garden stifles the notes we cannot reach. The branches bind.
Did you get anything?
Not much, just that they're definitely trapped in the garden.
In other words, nothing we didn't already know. Well, at least we tried. Clearly your link to Sapadal isn't as strong as it was in Naku Tadek, but I'll take it over nothing.
Let's stop. All of this god talk makes me dizzy.
Good thinking. We don't want to push the limits of your spiritual endurance.
So let me see if I got this straight. We're looking for the garden, which might not exist. Our best lead is Yatsley, an eccentric scholar who's gone ahead to Thirdborn, where the dream scourge may be ravaging.
Don't look at me. I was fine going back to Paradise.
I wouldn't even attempt what we're doing with anyone but you three.
Stop. You're aggravating my ulcer.
Listen, I know we didn't get around to stopping by Thomas' cabin, but there's something I need to do in Shatterscarp. There's an old battlefield near some Pogrunan ruins. Area called the Shark's Teeth. Tama lost his badge there. I need to get it.
We'll go.
Thanks.
Takes courage to go back for something you lost. I wouldn't have it in me.
Get some rest. Sleep is good for the soul. Maybe this doesn't need to be said, but I don't blame you for what happened to Fiorme Siverno. I just wanted you to know.
I'm beginning to question what the Empire is doing in the Living Lands.
No need to question it anymore. They've made their intentions clear. I'll get the bastards who did this. One way or another, I'll make them pay.
Let's get some rest. We have a long day ahead of us.
Alright, we're heading off to the new area, Shatterscarp.
Listen to me, look here. Can you focus on my voice? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm just dizzy.
Well, now that we're here, I think this is where we're going to end it for today, so I hope you'll come back and see what happens next time in Avowed. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
That last fight guides the whole of your ranks.